Hey Marty, do you want to watch the retrospective they're doing on the show? Yeah, right. Like, I want to see two jerks take all the credit for our hard work. What else is on? Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special series retrospective on It Was Puppet Problems at one time, but I guess we now call it Marty the Monkey and Friends. Oh man, so many episodes, so many cartoons. I am Adam Lukes, the creator, and for this upcoming one, writer and director. And we also have, right there, we have Tyler Davis, the actor who played Doc Baxter for, I
Yes,
think, you're not 26 yet, are
18.
you?
I know I am 26. I'm
Oh, yes, you
almost
are. Oh,
27.
right.
Yeah.
You'll be 27.
Yeah.
But we've been playing these characters now half our lives, basically,
Yeah.
13 years.
Yeah. Yeah, 13 years.
Do you remember the original idea for the show? Because it wasn't really just going to be a one-time thing.
I definitely remember it being a one-time thing. Wasn't it a spin-off or
Yes, because
yeah.
originally, this is how far back it goes. I remember telling you about the show through RuneScape. We were
Really?
chatting on there, and that's
Oh,
how I
I'm
told
not
you about the
surprised.
show.
Judging by being 13, I'm not
Yes.
surprised. Yeah.
So originally, the idea of the show, it was going to be just a one-time thing called de-evolution.
I
It
remember
was
that.
about it was basically a Roger Rabbit or Space Jam, but with puppets.
Ah,
So we had our character Doc Baxter, who was always trying to find the next stage of evolution. And then he thinks he finds it, but it turns out he goes back a stage in evolution and becomes a monkey, who later we know would become Marty the Monkey. And then
yeah.
it was just going to be a one-time thing. And then I don't know how it started, but we started talking about, well, maybe we could do it as like a series kind of thing. So it evolved into also having a series of Doc Baxter originally living with his daughters after his wife died, which never happened. And then it was going to
Yeah.
be with Timothy the Turtle, Brenda the Bird, Larry the Lion, and Charlie, because Marty from De Evolution was no longer going to exist. He was one and
Oh yeah.
done. And so we did that. I think it was because we didn't want to waste a bunch of time on a 90-minute video. We filmed 3 episodes in one day. And just in
Yeah.
case it didn't work, we did have episode 2 be a crossover with the Laughing Lounge where we had Doc Baxter meet Go Go Grandma.
Yeah.
And so the first scene is interesting. I don't know if you remember this because the first scene, it's Marty and Doc talking about
Who would be stupid enough to use puppets? I know! Seriously, who uses puppets anymore?
Oh yeah.
originally it was supposed to be Timothy because my mindset was, okay, Timothy is going to be the star puppet.
Yeah.
And the reason he's not in that opening scene is because for some reason we couldn't find the puppet.
Oh really?
And so
Yeah.
we're just like, maybe it can be like a little reference to this other thing we'll work on later. So we
Yeah.
threw Marty in there, which in retrospect was a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also, if you watch the early episodes, Marty only has brief appearances just to have another character in there, even though he's technically not supposed to be in there. But
Yeah.
so for you, you who had to share the stage with these characters, what was it like acting alongside the puppets? Because we had done some other videos before, but this was kind of our first time doing like a series where we follow the characters. So what was it like acting alongside the puppets instead of with like other humans?
Yeah. I mean, I think being a 13-year-old kid at this time, everyone wanted to make like their own cool videos. I also like acted a lot in videos that I made with my friends and cousin and stuff. Um, so surprisingly, I was used to acting with other people on screen, but puppets I remember being a new little challenge.
New venture.
Yeah, needing to look in different places, react off of things that aren't people, and the voice is coming from somewhere else.
Oh,
So,
yes.
but I got used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we the puppets went from like 2007 to I think the last one was 2018. So that was 11 years of working alongside the puppets.
Yeah,
Shifting the spotlight onto Marty really did kind of change the show because originally I was thinking, I mean, Doc was the focus of the show. And then in terms of who was going to be the lead puppet, it was going to be Timothy. And, once again, because these original puppet problems were not scripted, they were just kind of, we had a bit of an outline and we're just making up as we go along.
yeah.
What set Timothy's destiny into motion was a blooper.
Oh, really?
Because in the first episode, he talks about how Larry has been with them for, no, he's been gone for
Months, weeks, days. That's backwards, you idiot. Shut up. I'm slow in the head.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, even the voice changed too.
yeah.
It
I
used to be a
remember.
lot deeper.
Yeah,
So in episode 4, we were still kind of trying to looking for who was going to be the main puppet. And then we focused on Marty, and then it just kind of clicked, and it felt like the show kind of found what it would be then. And
yeah,
that basically kind of made it so we scrapped de-evolution because we were just like, well, he's going to be the star now. Now that old idea we had doesn't really make sense.
yeah,
So yeah, that was shifting the spotlight on
yeah.
Marty.
Definitely.
As we go into the move to animation, I remember that took a long time because I think I remember telling you, like, the summer between our freshman and sophomore year, like, I'm telling you, one day we're going to switch to animation in
Hmm.
2009. And then it wouldn't be that the characters would be in animation until 2014.
Yeah,
Yes, it did take a while, but I mean, I think in the end, worth the wait. So we had that. Doing an animation, like, basically opened the doors to where we were able to do anything.
yeah,
So your first animated appearance, I believe, was the Christmas special from 2016, where you came back as Doc. So what was it like now being a voice? I mean, because for a while you were just playing it like yourself, but now you were the voice coming out of a
yeah.
drawing kind of like that looked like you. So what was it
Yeah.
like playing Doc in animation?
It's interesting because I don't remember having the thought when I was recording the lines or anything, but I definitely remember like when I finally watched it, and I kind of remember having the weird thought where I was like, this, like, character is visually based off of a character that I played uh on camera. So now there's this animated character based on my likeness,
Yes.
that my voice is coming out of. So I think that only hit me when I saw the first one, um, which I thought was kind of a trip. But yeah,
So then we we basically moved over fully to animation. I mean, we did go back for the puppets a few times, but we did fully switch over. And then you got to play some other characters because normally you were always Doc. And I
yeah,
think the first non-Doc character you played was the Ghost in the Halloween episode.
yeah.
Yeah. So what was
Or
it like being able to like stretch and play? I mean, this upcoming one, you do play a few other characters that aren't Doc. We won't say what they are yet, but
yeah.
so what is it like playing other characters and be able to stretch?
I really like that. I like being, because I mean, Doc is confusing because obviously, like 13 years ago, I wasn't thinking about doing much of a character. I was just kind of saying lines in my own voice. So with new characters that are much more cartoony, you can definitely try doing some different stuff. And I think I like playing characters that give me an excuse to really change my voice.
So originally, between um doing the puppets and switching to animation, there was kind of this idea I was wondering about for our senior year of high school. Do I do like another season of the puppets? And then I was kind of like, you know what? It's our senior year of high school. I'll do a final season. So I decided, you know what? We're gonna chart the course. We're gonna go one way, and we have an end game of where we want the characters to be. And basically, I knew I was going to put everything I ever wanted to do with the show in that original finale, except for one thing. One thing that I knew I wanted to do eventually, but wouldn't work unless it was in animation. So
Yeah.
everything else I put in there. So I remember we had you come back for the finale because we weren't able to have you a lot in between because of the theater schedule. So do you remember
Yeah.
your the original series finale where you came back as Doc? Because you had to film it separately, kind of like we are now. But
Yeah.
yeah, you had to
No,
film it separately.
yeah, I remember recording it, I think, but I don't remember much about. I'm trying to think. I found a. I hope I found I actually found a script recently of.
Oh,
I can't remember if I thought it was some kind of finale, and I wonder if that's what it was.
oh, it might
Anyway,
be because your
I'll
scenes were
have
the
to.
only ones from the
Yeah.
finale that were scripted.
Yeah. But yeah, so I kind of remember recording it and recording it separately, but I don't remember much about uh, the plot of or at least my end of the plot.
Yeah, it was 8 years ago,
Yeah.
basically. I think yeah. So this show lasted longer from when its original ending, because originally it ended after 5 years, and now
Yeah.
it's been 8 years since then.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because for some weird reason, we always talk about like how is something going to end before we even started filming. So I was kind of thinking, even before we started filming the pilot, I was kind of thinking, how is this show going to end? Do you, because it's been 13 years, do you remember the original idea of how it was going to end? Because I recently remembered it and man, is it a weird one.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to ring a bell when you say it, but I can't think of what it was. Because I do definitely remember talking about like this is how it's going to end at some point. Um,
So the original ending was going to be, again, because Marty wasn't there yet. It was Timothy finds out that Doc is engaged. And then there's the wedding at Doc. And it's basically the characters kind of realizing that stuff is going to change, which sounds nice and everything. But then the final scene, Doc is working on some weapon for the government. And there's a giant red button. And Timothy goes, I'm going to go press that red button. And Doc screams, no. And then goes slow motion, giant explosion. The last line is Timothy going, oops, and they all die.
oh,
That was the original ending.
the original ending was a good old they all die ending. Wow.
Yes, it felt heartwarming at the end. How do you feel about the way Doc's story is wrapped up in this upcoming cartoon?
I mean, I definitely remember recording some pretty nice sentimental lines where it feels like everything kind of wrapped up in a heartwarming place that kind of reflected the length of time that these characters have been around. Definitely more heartwarming than than Oops. But.
Oops, yeah. So for me, this video was, I decided that as we were getting, I knew that once I started working on it, that to put everything I ever wanted to do in this video to make sure, all right, let's wrap it up. Let's end it strong. And I'm very happy with how everything turned out. So there we go, guys. Our series retrospective on the Marty the Monkey and Friends legacy. Tune in tomorrow for the premiere of Happy Birthday, Marty the Monkey, and the epilogue to the Barfing Dog Universe.